everyone, and welcome back to NFI Hammer, Chapter 4, Part 2, Painting 10 Necron Warriors. So, if you haven't checked out Part 1 yet, definitely go recommend that. But basically where we had left off was we had just finished priming all 10 of these units in black spray paint. In between the two videos, I ended up picking up some new brushes, because a lot of comments on my last one said that I needed to upgrade, and I also got a normal palette that I use later in the video. But what I'm most excited about is this salt shaker thing you can see here. So I actually just use this as like a handle with some blue tack, and I put the miniature on the top. But it's actually like a great invention. Not only is it like, don't have to get my hands in the paint, it's also less shaky, like I get a better grip. The top actually moves around, so it's actually really easy to spin around. So yeah, I just started off with a Runelord brass colour, and my cat has come to say hello. And yeah, so what I basically was thinking in my head with these was to try and paint the armour pieces, so like the shoulder guards, like the leg armour, and like that sort of stuff, and leave the bone structure that I was going to paint silver later. So I'm not sure how that'll look in the end product, but I thought it might have a cool look. I'm getting more comfortable like painting out the separate sections and stuff, but I'm not really paying too much attention if I get some paint somewhere I'm not meant to, because I'll come back later and I'll just touch it up. Because of the black undercoat, like the black primer, I needed to do a couple of layers of paint. I had some great comment and feedback in the comments from my earlier videos that the way I'm watering down the paints is using my paintbrush, and I'm just dipping it into water and then applying that, but apparently that's bringing too much water into it, and that's why it's very runny and hard to control. So they recommended to use the end of the paintbrush, and so yeah, I've started doing that, and it's giving much better results. So thank you so much for everyone that's giving me advice along the way. It's really appreciated. Yeah, so I just continued going through. I'm trying to leave the little chest sections black, the little rib cage, I guess you would call it, because I think that kind of gives it a more contrasting like colour. Occasionally I do get some paint in there, so I'm going to have to come back later and just try and touch that up. I also realised I completely forgot about the head. I guess I was flip-flopping between silver or brass, but I decided that it kind of makes more sense to match the shoulders, so I went back for all 10 units and redid that, and then touched up anything that I thought was missing. So rather than showing you all 10, I'm just trying to speed it up here. So here's the finished product. So you can see it's kind of messy. There's definitely paint that's gone places that it shouldn't have, but overall it's kind of got exactly what I was going for. So the next part was applying the silver. So with the silver, I was trying to apply this to, in my mind, what I call the bones of the Necron warrior. So like sometimes you'll see like an armor piece have been blown off, or like the spine, or like parts of the leg. So I'm trying to just highlight those, but I stupidly put the camera in a slightly different angle, so this is really just a good view of my hand. So I'll speed this up by showing two of the time lapses simultaneously. I'm also trying to leave some of the stuff black and some of it silver, so we'll see how it looks. I might be trying to be too fancy and going too far in one go, but for instance, like in the legs, there's like two bones, so I'm kind of painting one bone silver and one bone black to give it a bit of contrast. But this is what the finished product looks like now that I've applied the silver. The light's not very good, but yeah, so far it's shaping up well. So then I started on the lead belcher paint for the weapons. I found painting the weapons this time was pretty easy. compared to last time. I don't know why that is, but I think they were kind of, sticking out at a good angle, so I could easily get to it. So yeah, this was actually quite a relaxing part. I'd say this is probably the nicest part of the experience, the most zenful. I didn't really care too much if I got a little bit on somewhere else because I'm kind of comfortable going back and touching up. So in the interest of time, here's another montage of me going through. At the beginning there, I don't know if you noticed, I was using my old brush, and then I remembered that I had these new brushes, so I'm finding that the new brushes are giving much more control over what I want to paint. It's not so random, so definitely helping. Plus they've got a nice grip on them, so I think that helps as well. So here's the weapons painted. So they're coming along now. They're more than just being black. They've got a lot more colour and shape to them. So the next part was Corax White. And so in this, I'm just trying to paint everything that I'm going to paint green. I'm going to just do an undercoat of Corax White. And I find that makes the green pop out a lot more. I did really struggle painting the little nodules in the weapons. I can paint the little ball thing easy, but I'm trying to paint the groove in between the two, and I just could not get any paint in there without getting it on the surface area, which I didn't want. So I had to go back and cover that with some black. But yeah, now I'm moving on to the Tesseract Glow. So it's definitely, it pops a lot more. There's a comment from my first video that I did that said, yeah, don't paint it on top of black because it doesn't really show. Again, the new brushes have been super helpful, so I really recommend don't use $2 Kmart brushes and go and get some proper ones. And another montage to speed things up because this is turning into a long video. I didn't realize how long 10 models would take to paint. And so now this is the finished product of them, but you can see their chest sigil is still unpainted. So what I think looks really cool is using a gold one. So here I've got a Retributor armor and just kind of painting the embellishment but not the actual background. So this is kind of the raised area. I'm almost doing a dry brush technique, not that I really know what that is, but yeah. So here's the finished product. I haven't applied a wash yet, so I think in my next video I'm going to try and do wash and a wash dry brush and then compare the different ones and see which one looks better for science. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and if we can get the 100 subscribers, I'll start the Overlord model, which I'm super excited about. Thanks everyone.